Let's speak with Miriam Cates, Conservative MP for Penistone and Stockbridge. Miriam Cates, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ian.
Nice to have you with us. I mean, this is always a troubling time when we have to read out numbers of people who have died. We know over 700 today. What are you sensing with this? Again, allowing for the context that I just gave, that we were warned numbers would get greater over the next few days or coming weeks, but nonetheless, the direction of travel is horrific.
It is. It's very sad. Every death is a tragedy for the family involved. And of course, you know, we are seeing this trajectory in our country and in countries around the world. And I think we have to remember this is a brand new disease. There's no latent immunity in any population in the world. It's highly contagious. And sadly, people who do have underlying health conditions or who are elderly are more likely to die from it. And we are going to see an increase in deaths. That is absolutely the case. And, you know, we are seeing that. But I think what was very, very encouraging from the press conference just now was that we are seeing this national effort that the Prime Minister talked about that we need to overcome this virus. We're seeing the national effort from individuals, so people staying at home, and all the data shows that people are, by and large, complying with those guidelines, but also the national effort from our science industries, from our businesses, coming together, working together. For example, Formula One manufacturers coming together to produce 8,000 new ventilators that should be rolling off this weekend. So that kind of effort is starting to come through, and we're seeing the kind of resolve that we have as a nation to fight this.
Do you still sense, though, we were a little bit late out of the traps on this, that perhaps we would never have nipped anything in the bud? I don't think anybody expects that, but there is certainly that narrative that's out there, and it ain't going to go away, and one can almost see this in the mother of all inquiries as this ends at some point, that the government was so slow to act, and that has cost lives.
No, I don't think that's true at all, Ian. I think that, as a scientist myself, I can see that the government has absolutely followed the scientific advice all the way through. And that's not just about the kinds of measures that are introduced, it's about the timing of measures. And that is critical, because we're not just talking about biology and the spread of a virus, we're also talking about behavioural science and what kind of changes people can make in their lives and how quickly. And all those things have to be taken into account. And I believe absolutely that the right measures have been made at the right time. We heard just now Jonathan Van Tam saying that some of the early clinical studies and treatment trials began weeks and weeks ago, when it first became understood that this was a virus. So preparations have absolutely been ongoing for some time, and we're seeing that now.
But as a previous commentator said to us, the people that died today would have contracted COVID-19 when the Prime Minister was saying it was still okay for old people to go to pubs. At that stage, in other countries, they had stopped people doing things like that. We didn't do that.
But as the Prime Minister has also said, we are approximately 2 weeks behind some of those other countries, and that has obviously been borne in mind when taking these decisions. And I just, as the experts have been saying, we've got to wait and see how effective the measures that we've taken since the last 10 days when the lockdown properly started, and we won't know that for another couple of weeks, but all the indications show that people are observing the rules, and therefore we will see a decrease in spread, and so hopefully we will see an effect on the death rate in hospital admissions. But as I said before, this is a brand new disease. There's no immunity, natural immunity. We cannot stop it spreading. That is not possible, but we can slow it down to make sure that our NHS has got the capacity. And we've seen just now, Matt Hancock said there are over 2,000 free critical care beds ready for coronavirus patients. We've just built the Nightingale Hospital in 9 days that's ready to receive patients. This delay of the spread is absolutely going to have the effect that we need it to increase capacity in the NHS. That's what we're trying to do. We can't stop the virus. Sadly, we can't stop deaths, but we can increase the capacity of the NHS, and that's what we're doing.
There are 3 other hospitals, both in Birmingham, Manchester and Glasgow, due to open, more Yep. Nightingale hospitals. This has been, we can all agree, this has been incredible to be able to do this. But of course, they're hospitals that we sort of hope in a curious way that we don't have to use, Miriam.
Of course, that's absolutely true. We all hope that they don't need to be used, but I think the important thing is to be prepared. And the more hospital beds we have if people need them, the more chance they have of surviving. I mean, let's remember that the vast majority of people who contract coronavirus will experience mild to moderate symptoms and will make a full recovery. But for those who do need hospitalisation, access to these critical care beds and the ventilators is crucial. So we need to be ready, and we are making it ready. And also another 2 were announced today, which was Harrogate and Bristol, again being built in exhibition centres with cooperation from local contractors, electricians, again a great national and local effort. So it's absolutely the key to be prepared. At the moment, there isn't the need for them. The capacity is there in the existing hospitals, but it's absolutely right to make ready for a greater number of cases should that occur.
And on that point, thank you. That's the Conservative MP, Miriam Cates.